Welcome to Fox Flash, I'm Riddles, and in this video I'll be reviewing the new plastic Legio Custodes Custodian Guard Sodality and Sentinel Guard Sodality for Warhammer the Horus Heresy and Warhammer 40,000. The Custodian Guard and Sentinel Guard are separated by their weapon loadouts. Custodians wield the iconic Guardian Spear, a frankly ludicrous weapon combining a spear with a bolter on the end, whilst the Sentinel Guard carry Warblades and Praesidium shields. Both kits consist of 6 miniatures and are built from 2 sprues. The main sprue is shared between the 2 kits and builds the bodies, whilst also carrying 6 helmeted heads with interchangeable plumes and 6 unhelmeted heads. Of these, there are 5 male and 1 female head. The sprue is then rounded off with 6 Misericordia. There is then a unique weapon sprue depending on which unit you are building. The Custodian Guard sprue naturally features the Guardian Spears, but there are also components to build a Magisterium Vexilla. There are an additional 6 helmeted heads and 5 bear heads, 2 of which are male and 3 are female. The Sentinel Guard sprue on the other hand carries 6 Praesidium shields, 6 Warblades, and 1 unique male head. There are also then components to build a Sentinel Vexillarius, who exchange their shield for the Magisterium Vexilla. In terms of the build, let's start by saying these are essentially 6 monopose miniatures that have been cut up to fit on a plastic sprue. Outside of the twist of the head, there is 0 posability. That being said, there are additional builds for the models that carry a Vexilla if you choose not to take one, or if you want to reinforce your unit with additional models. As the main sprue is shared across both kits, each guard unit shares these same 6 bodies. This matters less than for other armies since Custodes are expensive in terms of points, and you generally have less of them, but even across 2 or 3 squads it is somewhat noticeable, and they are slightly odd kits to build. In my experience, the bits I thought were going to be difficult were easy, and the bits I didn't think too much about often proved to be more difficult than anticipated. For example, the spears. They are mercifully easy to clip out and clean. I've had experience in the past where feed connection points on spears can leave unsightly marks on the haft, but these are painless and look great. Positioning the spear arms is easy too, with an ingenious solution to attaching the arms. Half of the shoulder is attached to the cloak, and when you add the rest of the arm, it's already in the correct position to take the lower arms. The hands are cut in such a way that they slot into the lower arms easily, and it just goes together the way it's meant to be placed. The cloaks also could be a nightmare, but aren't. Many cloaks in Warhammer feature 2 halves to be stuck together, or weird extra bits to fill in folds and whatnot. Not so for the Custodes, where the cloak is a single back piece that clips effortlessly to the body. I've seen other reviews complain about the cloaks and arm fittings, but that seems to come from a misunderstanding that they are interchangeable. They are not, and if you follow the instructions, I find they fit together seamlessly. It's therefore super simple to build all 6, and they're easy to clean as well, but there's a pretty bad mould line that goes at the centre of the knee pad on the lower leg components to watch out for. So about those difficult bits. It's worth noting that there isn't always a natural position for the thigh plates. Unlike the new Cataphractii Terminators which have a groove to position them with, the guard models don't. There's a bit of trial and error determining where to glue them so they look good. They also have a bugbear with their helmeted heads. Firstly, their iconic helmets feature a detailed wing pattern on each side, which unfortunately have a rather tasty mould line at the centre. Trimming this back without damaging the detail is an exercise in patience and restraint. Secondly, I've never sworn so much building a kit when trying to attach the plumes to the helmets. The contact point is small, the plume is large and heavy enough to droop, and when the glue is applied, it can easily slip out of position if you're not careful. After 2 or 3 attempts on my first helmet, I actually broke the connector point, the glue melting it off the plume. As a result, I almost decided to use all unhelmeted heads, but these are Custodes, and their helmets are renowned, so after stepping away and coming back to them later that day, I persevered and got them all built. And whilst we're on the subject of heads, the top knot of this female head seems to get in the way of every position except the one I've modelled it in. Finally then, the Misericordia are more difficult to attach than they need to be. There are no locator pins for these, you're simply free to stick them wherever you want, which is fine, but it's a bit tricky to position them so they look natural and don't look like they're getting in the way of the guard's arms. And they are small and thin, and the contact between them and the model is tiny, so I've had more than one decide to fall off when handling them. But when it comes to the design of the models, I can only say I think they are great. The models have been reproportioned compared to the previous kits, and they look sleeker and more refined. In terms of size, they stand taller than a tactical marine and a head taller than a Terminator despite sharing the same base size. The details are intricate and in my opinion they are beautiful models. Their helmeted heads are a little bit hit and miss in my opinion, and I think the concept of the Guardian Spear is ridiculous, but otherwise I think they're one of the best infantry kits in the entire Warhammer range. The Custodian Guard Sodality and the Sentinel Guard Sodality are beautiful kits and look great on the tabletop, led by their new shield captain. I'm looking forward to adding the Venatari to my force, and I'm intrigued to see if GW continues down the route of updating the Custodes models by tackling the Terminators and the jet bikes at a later date. What do you think of the new Custodes? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe to Vox Flash for more Horus Heresy news and reviews coming soon.